Adrenaline episode 53 emanated from the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. The first episode of the Gregory Black era as World Heavyweight Champion, having made good on his promise to cash in the title at Uprising, and he had a proclamation as the new World Champion.
Unlike the past, where there were only 5 contenders for the world title, I am opening the floodgates. I want anybody and everybody here in CCL to challenge me for the championship. It doesn't matter if it's on an Adrenaline, I don't care if it's on a Pulse, I don't care if it's at a house show. I want more challenges. I want more people to challenge me. Anybody who wants a shot at the world title, they will go for it. They will not sit in the mid-card begging for an up in the national title rankings. They'll come after me. If they want to go from being a jobber to a main eventer, they'll come after me. The bottom line is, if you want a world title shot, don't even bother going to the office. You come through me. And that's all I have to say about it.
Now that there's nothing really holding us back any longer, now I can basically say that Gregory Black, I declare war on you. It's time that we have the war that ends all wars. I guaranteed I was going to make your life a living miserable hell as long as you hold that belt. And don't worry, Greg, that promise is going to be kept. And I'm going to make your life a living miserable hell no matter where you go, no matter where you eat, no matter where you hang out, I will be there. You better have eyes in the back of your head, buddy. Because I'm coming for you. You better protect that title with your life. Because since most of the riffraff are not here, I'm going to be the one taking the championship off your waist, or I'm going to send you to the goddamn hospital. Either way, it doesn't really matter, as long as I'm rid of you. Be ready.
Black and Matos feud aside, the Tag Team Championship Series was introduced, pitting 8 tag teams against each other in a round-robin tournament to determine who would face the Butcher and Overkill, or whoever the Tag Team Champions were, at Future Shock. Future Foundation defeated Affliction in the opening match by a knockout, gaining themselves a big 50 points. Gregory Black and Michael Hammer managed to keep together just long enough to defeat Future Foundation 2.0 and get themselves 30 points in their first round match. The women's title was on the line as Beth Phoenix defeated Psylocke, but the biggest shock of the night came from the boss himself.
True.
You have your job.
Right.
What the hell?
What?
He's blaming everybody.
What?
Seriously, you know that's nobody's fault but your own for allowing that. Moron. He's rage quitting.
Wow.
He's raging.
What is he saying?
What do you think he's saying?
Wow, he's blaming the fans for this.
What the? Hey man, ain't my fault. He was better prepared for the ambush after the last 3 I gave him during 2010. What the hell are you shooting on you guys?
Wait, what?
What the hell wrestlers?
Hey, you can kiss my ass, you mass piece of shit.
Hey, I agree with that. Lord, give me the strength to knock it up from this chair.
Might not have a job if you do. That's why I'm still sitting here. Trust me.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow. What are we witnessing here?
I'm not.
going to say what I think he's going to say. But that's what he's insinuating.
At least that's one good thing.
I still don't know who's behind that. What?
Are you serious? What the fuck is he saying? He's not saying what I think he's saying. You can't be saying what I think he's saying.
This is the greatest night in the history of CCL.
Might be your last night, John. Might be our last night.
Your last night, my ass. You know I could easily buy this place. You'll still have your job.
Wait. What message would that be?
He's quitting! He's quitting!
Shut the fuck up.
He's quitting! Guys, if you guys excuse me, I'm going to the board right now to negotiate me taking over this place. I'll see you later.
This motherfucker here.
Adrenaline episode 54 emanated from the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. First, without a COO or a general manager. What's the company to do? Well, leave it to Hollywood Matos to the rescue. Matos decided to take the situation by the horns and declared himself in charge. And needless to say, the World Heavyweight Champion was not too happy about it. Did you expect him to be? Really? I mean, did you? Hardcore champion Louis Murphy introduced hooligan rules, meaning a match can only be won if they are knocked out or first blood is drawn upon them. He demonstrated that on Tag Team Champion The Butcher by making him bleed. Suicidal was waiting for him post-match, and Suicidal just demonstrated a little hooliganism himself by not only blooding him, but by knocking him out. Suicidal's a dangerous man, you know. Needing a win to stay in the Tag Team Championship Series, the Freemans hold the upset win over Future Foundation. The unlikely duo of Gregory Black and Michael Hyman got their second win of the tournament by knocking off Chris Knight and Wayne Myers collectively on his nightmare. CCL Adrenaline 55 was a special episode, an annual Memorial Day tribute to the troop special, emanating from Fort Lee Army Base in Fort Lee, Virginia. The Women's Tag Team Championships were on the line as Cy Electra defended against Love Hurts. Though Love Hurts put up quite the battle, Psylocke added Cassandra Nova to a list of victims of the Psy Mission. You know, the move that choked out both Christy Montero and Wonder Woman the same week. And retained the Women's Tag Team Championships. In a battle between two 7-footers, the Big Rig Mark Austin upset former World Heavyweight Champion and Superstar of the Year, Armageddon. Armageddon had cracked ribs and has been out of action ever since. The McMillan Enterprise picked up their second straight win in the Tag Team Championship Series by easily disposing of Affliction. And in the Women's Championship match, Meredith Clark defeated Beth Phoenix, albeit by disqualification. Phoenix got to retain the championship. But not everyone was happy about it, including Wonder Woman, who made quite the superhero leap onto Beth Phoenix and... well, yeah. Come on, it's Wonder Woman. The Amazon sent a strong message to the Glamazon. Perhaps a championship match was in the future? A tribute to the Troop Special capped off with a blockbuster 6-man tag team elimination match. The Great One, TGO, the Crippler Michael Hyman and World Champion Gregory Black, took on National Champion Sherman Sampson, Nathan House, and the Great D. We pick up the action with Nathan House just eliminated, leaving the Great D alone against both Gregory Black and Michael Hyman. Great D was Hyman almost brings deep Gregory Black and tossed by the outside.
Look at this. That's twice. That's twice in 1 second. Yeah. I hear you. That's twice in one show. That's back-to-back freaking matches. Like, seriously? What is going on around here is the Great D's in serious trouble. He just got hit with the fade of black through the table, and he's all by himself against a trolling crippler.
Who's
world champion?
Double drivers by Hyman. Great D of bloody mess is about 2 minutes into the match. Oh, I think he was looking for kill by death. And a Great D of a spear!
Wow.
Spear on the top, too! Wait, Hyman's out!
Look at this.
Michael Hyman has
He's got the world champion, the man who ambushed him from behind after his win at Uprising. Gregory Black ain't but 225, 230, so he can fly like a cruiserweight when he wants to.
This is true. Oh. Yeah, look what we happened upon. This.
I said this would be a telling story of what goes forward with these two.
Move on that Black too. No.
You gotta think if B can get a pinfall victory over Black, he's gotta be in line for a title shot, no matter who's in charge.
Right. Great DDT.
So we can see the end here.
Oh, Black to the knee. And look out here. Fade to Black.
He hit that to a flame and 10, which led to a Boston crab, which led to the Black becoming the world champion.
Oh, look out. Here we go. A blackout. Oh, Big Black was looking to finish with the Boston Crab.
Yes, he was, but instead, D fought the counter.
Oh, great thing going up. The great elbow hit.
I don't think he's content with just that.
He's not done. The greatest move of all time. Find his hook. Got it.
All right. D with a muscle of revenge. I think we need to get him a championship match now.
Gregory Black has been eliminated, and the winners of this contest are Demon Sherman Sampson, Nathan House, and the Great D.
Great Nathan House and Sherman Sampson pick up the win. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this special edition of CCL Adrenaline. For the champ, I'm Eddie Mack. See you later.
Oh, thank you.
Adrenaline episode 56, pick up 6, was from the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, Alabama. And two-time CCL Diva of the Year, former women's singles and tag team champion, Christy Montero, took the reins and declared herself in charge. What? Who's going to say no? I mean, it's martial law. Well, someone did say no. It was the women's champion, Beth Phoenix. And, yeah, she was not too happy about Christy being in charge. Phoenix challenged Montero to a match, and Montero accepted, and, well, of course, the fight broke out, because, well, that's usually what happens in situations like this. Fights break out. Future Foundation 2.0 needed a win to stay in the Tag Team Championship Series, and got it under somewhat dubious circumstances. TRT challenged his inner Eddie Guerrero, and got Gregory Black and Michael Hyman disqualified. The loss eliminated Black and Hyman from the Tag Team Championship Series and no longer binded the two as a unit. As if TRT getting pedigreed on the steel chair wasn't bad enough, Hyman laid out this challenge for Gregory Black. A submission match for the World Heavyweight title with Future Shock. One of 3 matches Black would compete in that night. Stipulation made by Hollywood Matos 2 episodes earlier. The Butcher and Overkill issued an open challenge for their tag team championships against any duo in the world. That duo? Big Rick Mark Austin and future legend Rick Acid. And it did not work out too well for the challengers. Slaughter the Acids, and the Butcher and Overkill retained their tag team championships. Meanwhile, the center of the universe, Sherman Sampson, got one last look at Gregory Black and his somewhat awesome hairdo. The two were meeting a hair versus hair match at Global Warning, a match not sanctioned officially by CCL. Suspect laid out suicidal and got himself disqualified, leaving Lewis Murphy to pick up the scraps and finally get at least a measure of revenge on his would-be challenger to the Hardcore title. The Glamazon Beth Phoenix defeated Christy Montero to retain the CCL Women's Championship. She was not done. She wanted to send a message post-match. And her tag team partner, Wonder Woman, was having none of it. As if their confrontation on Adrenaline episode 55 didn't make it clear. On Adrenaline episode 56, Wonder Woman issued a formal challenge to Beth Phoenix for a match at Future Shock for the women's title. Amazon versus Glamazon. And surely not being accepted. The World Heavyweight Champion Gregory Black took on Great D with the title on the line. The Great D was assaulted by Hyman earlier, but the emotions between these two were just too much and the match never really got underway. Gregory Black put the blackout on the Great D on the steel steps, and the Great D returned the favor with a facebuster to those same steel steps. And the show ended with Black and a Boston Crab on the Great D. Adrenaline episode 57 emanated from the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. This time around, DC's People's Champ took charge, and he too booked a blockbuster show. In addition to the semifinals and finals of the #1 Contenders Tournament for the Tag Team Championship, Gregory Black will face off against Michael Hyman, and the Great D will face off against Sherman Sampson in a non-title match. In the first semifinal, Future Foundation got their payback on the Freemans, who beat them earlier in the round-robin round, and advanced to the finals. Suspect against TGO was quite the battle, and it had a surprise appearance. The return of the Playmaker XtremeTony. Wasn't enough of a distraction though, as Suspect was able to hit the Wall Street Crash on the DWF World Heavyweight Champion to score himself a win. Former tag team partners Gregory Black and Michael Hyman had a preview of their submission match at Future Shock, or so we thought. Gregory Black nailed Hyman with brass knucks, but Michael Hyman returned the favor with a low blow, forcing a disqualification. In the other semifinal, Future Foundation 2.0 defeated Nightmare and advanced themselves to the finals. Speaking of the finals, here's some highlights. And a leg drop.
Short leg drop there from Phoenix. One. Hey, Matthews.
One is Matthews pushed it up. You know, Paul told me to do a leg drop.
Somebody else is bleeding.
I believe Matthews may have been fucked over. And that's the real deal.
That is the real deal. The only one who's not bleeding right now is Nate Matthews.
Nate is
tell just how much these two men want this.
Number one contender is a #1 contenders match for the CCL Tag Team titles. The winners get the Butcher and Overkill at Future Shock.
It's absolutely true, and now Kazarian. Oh, standing moonsault.
Hook away.
At 2 3/4.
TNT the roundhouse. Tagging made the Dave Matthews move. This is actually not bleeding. This is a small mirror.
Yeah, Dave's the only one who hasn't been busted open.
Him and the referee.
Match opened it. Oh my gosh. Tilt-a-roll DDT and stood him right on his head.
Look at freaking that.
And all that.
Come on! Close it out! 2!
Nope.
No. One of these two teams will have the opportunity to end the Butcher and Overkill's long run as tag team champions. We stand at over 7 months in counting.
That's absolutely true, and now, oh, there it is!
Triangle submission. The Phoenix breaks it up.
Yeah, you saw TRT trying to get to it, but he's lost a lot of blood. He's starting to get highly fatigued during this matchup.
All boys in athlete fatigue.
Right.
Remember, this is the second match of the night.
Lee Briggs, cover two.
Nope. This is a hell of a match here, folks. And now everybody in the match is bleeding.
We've got 4 bleeders. No waiting. This would be a main event anywhere in the country, this match.
Only person not bleeding in the ring right now is the referee.
Yeah, AJ Moynihan. And if I were you, AJ, I'd stay well away from him.
Oh, that just kicked away at Phoenix.
Inside cradle covers. 1, 2, it's over here. It's over.
Oh my goodness.
The original Future Foundation defeated their proteges and won the right to face the Butcher and Overkill for the tag team titles at Future Shock. Even they seem impressed. In the feature bout of the evening, National Champion Sherman Sampson took on the Great D in a non-title match. But before the match got underway, Sherman Sampson announced his stipulation for the world title match at Future Shock. It would be an I Quit match. Appropriate considering the rivalry the two had. The bout went to a no contest thanks to interference by Hollywood Joseph Matos in the steel chair. And of course, Gregory Black and Hollywood Matos got into it again. A moment about CCL Future Shock, which emanated from the American Airlines arena in Miami, Florida. With a spectacular counter to a clothesline attempt by Overkill, Matt Phoenix put Overkill to sleep, and the longest tag team championship reign in CCL history was over. Future Foundation had won the tag team titles. With the help of Sherman Sampson, the Great D defeated Hollywood Joseph Matos as they both got their revenge from their previous Adrenaline. Diana Diamond and her mystery partner, which still remain a mystery to this day, defeated Sports Entertainment Extreme in a 3-on-2 handicap match, but post-match they were feeling a bit raw about it, to say the least. So was Hollywood Matos, who attacked Sherman Sampson prior to his world title match later on in the evening. Suicidal became the new hardcore champion by defeating the hooligan Louis Murphy in his own rules, a hooligan rules match. It was Glamazon that defeated Amazon as Beth Phoenix defeated Wonder Woman to retain the CCL Women's Championship in a thrilling contest. And in a CCL first, the World Heavyweight Championship was defended 3 times in one night. He took on Michael Herman in a submission match first, and he won, tapping him out to his new Boston Stronghold. He then took on Tommy Kazarian in a ladder match. Kazarian just won the tag team titles earlier in the show, and Gregory Black won that too. He then took on National Champion Sherman Sampson in an I Quit match, and it was brutal. Sampson quit when he couldn't get out of the Boston Stronghold, and Black was 3 for the night. A brief moment about Fanarchy. That's me talking to the World Heavyweight Champion and informing him that at the next Mega Event Supernova, he would face 5 other men in an Elimination Chamber match, with 4 of the 5 men being voted on by the fans. TRT got in by virtue of his win in Revolution Season 2, and Gregory Black was none too happy about it. Some words were exchanged, and the World and National Champion got into it. Power made her CCL debut following a match between Christy Montero and Wonder Woman, a match won by Montero. And the National World Heavyweight Champions fought in the steel cage match in the featured bout, where Sherman Sampson with a 1090 off the cage and then elbowing Gregory Black from the tops of the canvas, enabling the National Champion to pull the upset win over the World Champion. Recently, I spoke with the Playmaker XtremeTony, the former CCL World Heavyweight Champion and 3-time XGWO Champion and Principal Owner. The last time we saw him in the CCL ring was back at Supernova in September, where he lost a suspect in a brutal Texas death match that saw the Playmaker powerbombed on steel steps twice and forcing to submit to a crossface before he could not answer the referee's 10 count. In this exclusive interview, I asked Tony about his past, his feelings about Suspect, and his feelings about his ex-girlfriend Tammy. Plus, for the first time publicly, he clears up rumors about the state of his company. I'm here with the former CCL World Heavyweight Champion, former CCL National Champion, former XGWL Ultimate Champion, former... I know I'm missing a couple here.
Yeah, also former USFWA World Champion.
Right. Playmaker XtremeTony. First off, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for granting me the opportunity to speak with you. It's been a couple of months since we've seen you, and I'm going to jump right into it. The first thing I want to ask you is, how are you feeling?
Well, I haven't been feeling myself as of late. With all these things that's going on, not just in CAW but outside as well. Physically hurting right now, emotionally, mentally. It's just too much for me to bear right now with all the things that's going on. I try to keep it together, but I don't know. I don't know where my head's at. Sometimes I feel I've lost a step. I turned 30 a few months ago, and you know how they say, like, once you turn 30, you start to physically go into decline, and that's been in my head for a while now, because there's not too many here that are over 30. I mean, you see a lot of these young guys, and I'm like, these 21, 22, sometimes 23, 24-year-old coming in here, and sometimes, like, I'm worried if I'm going to get hurt in the ring and stuff, so, all this has just gone to my head.
And we're going to get to all that in just a little bit. Of course, the league that you are in charge of, the Extreme Global Wrestling League, XGWL, there's been a lot of speculation in the last year or so about the state of that company. Do you want? I'm sure you want to take this opportunity to clear up any rumors about that. Is it still running? Has it been bought? Is it closed? What's going on?
Well, the thing with that, from last year, I had this financial situation where I've not been able to pay the guys that are on the roster, and sometimes it's hard to, like, we have we have taped a couple episodes, and then due to the things that are going on with financially, we're not able to pay all these, not just the networks, but the talent to get the venues going. So it's been hard to get all these things running. We have a couple. I know XGWL, the latest episode is now up recently, and with all my financial situation, it's just unable to just get everything going on a regular basis like we used to.
Can you comment, or are you allowed to comment any further on the financial situation of XGWL?
Well, I know that people are saying that I'm filing bankruptcy, but I was able to talk with a couple of my attorneys, and we're able to get everything straightened out, and XGWL is going to be back on a more regular basis than this past almost year and a half since we started this hiatus situation. But I'm starting to get everything put together, and XGW is going to start coming back to being on a regular basis like it used to.
I get that is good, definitely good news. I'm sure you don't want to. I'm sure you're probably not allowed to comment much further than that. So we're going to go ahead and move on. You've been placed on a medical suspension thanks to General Manager Xavier Mitchell following your loss to Supernova to Suspects. And I'm sure you want more than anything than to get back out there and compete. Your match with Suspect at Supernova.
I've just been beaten to death. I don't know, because I've been told that I've received a concussion, and injuries are part of the game. Even though some people say that, oh, it's fake, but no, this thing is real, and I've been, and we went through hell, and I don't know how I'm able to even stand it right now, even to walk to to the studio here to get this interview going. I had a couple of people help me out. Sometimes hard even to get out of bed at times.
Right. Is so I'm guessing this the match with Suspect as Supernova. Obviously it took a physical toll on you, but I'm sure it's taken a mental toll on you. I mean, you came into that event thinking, this would be the first step to, climbing back to the top of the ladder in CCL, and it didn't work out for you.
No, you're absolutely right, and this. I've had a couple downtimes. I know a lot of everyone else in CAW also had some downtimes, but wow, you really got me. And I don't know how I was, and sometimes I can't remember what happened in the match at times.
You were crucifix powerbombed on steel steps twice. I'm sure that has a lot to do with you not being able to recall the events of that night.
There are times I can't even remember what I did in the day sometimes, and sometimes I need a personal assistant just to help me out to remember what I did in the day, and I have to resort to really just have a journal at hand and write down everything I've done throughout just the process of the day.
I guess what what a lot of people want to know about, of course, your relationship with Tammy, and I'll let you answer that in a moment.
Oh, right.
The downfall of you, both on a personal and professional level, started at Future Shock last year when Tammy kicked you in the gut, gave you a face buster, and a few minutes later that ended up costing you your rematch for the world title. And you haven't really been at that level since. And I'm sure. After everything you've done for Tammy, both personally and professionally, she's the most prolific women's champion over in your league, if not one of the most controversial. And she out and out left you for the man that, a few years ago put you through a personal and professional hell in Kevin McMillan, and I'm sure that has to hurt like hell.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This whole thing between me and McMillan, that what he did in XGWO a long time ago, which was actually about 5 years ago, and I think we're coming on the 5-year anniversary of where I fired him after I won back my CAW league from him, and I do remember that from way back when, but to Tammy to do what she did, that's you know that's just absolutely cold. I've never been done like that, so dirty, like by any woman like that. I was like, really, you kidding me? How you gonna do that to me? But I mean, it is what it is. I try to keep my personal stuff, you know, behind closed doors as much as possible. And she's just thinking that she is better than me, and she's gonna just after everything I've done for her, it's like, no,
Right.
it's absolutely ridiculous. No, she that was like, I don't know how to put it into words.
We are back. This is the empty arena match for the CCL World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Boston Strong Gregory Black, and challenger Hollywood Joseph Matos. Oh my goodness!
And they have left the backstage. They're now in one of the locker rooms.
Yeah, we saw in the last segment Matos walking away. I guess he's going to try and make his way out the arena, but I don't think he noticed that Gregory Black was behind him. He didn't notice at the time, but obviously that has changed.
Well, if he didn't notice it then, he notices it now.
In the one of the locker rooms here, that what it looks like.
It's the locker room. It's used for the Arizona Wildcats in the University of Arizona hockey team that has events here. Oh! He just got checked into the boards, you might say, thrown into a laundry cart. And Gregory Black has him a trash can.
Oh!
He just crowned him.
He just threw it at him. Remember the object of this match, ladies and gentlemen.
Again!
And ladies and gentlemen, the object of this match is to leave the arena by any means necessary.
That's right.
Oh! Right between the uprights.
That'll neutralize an opponent like nothing. There's a reason Street Fighters call that move the closer.
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm right in the eye.
To the eye.
And that a move Matos likes to call the great equalizer, and let's be honest, it is.
It is. Take away a guy's vision, he can't wrestle. And into a soda pop machine. And it appears to have knocked out a couple of cans of Mountain Dew.
I could go for some Mountain Dew right about now.
I could. Unfortunately, the concessionaires aren't here today.
Yeah. Just a skeleton crew here for this this most unusual World Heavyweight Championship match.
Yeah, now, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think this is the first ever empty arena match that has ever been held in the history of the CCL.
Yes. Oh my God!
Oh! Powerbombed him right into that locker.
My God!
Shadow
really sure why they set up for television here, considering that
Yeah, it's a skeleton crew. Well, I think that setup is used when they do the hockey broadcast. They do the introductions.
Ah,
And they do the pre-game introductions with the commentators, and they have to have that there. And I guess they kept it set up. Oh!
in the face.
Dotted his eyes with that steel chair. And again!
Again, ladies and gentlemen, the object of this match. Oh, low blow by Matos. No pinfalls, no submissions, no disqualifications, no count out there. And as you can see, no referee either. The object is to get out of the arena before the other guy.
Exactly. You have to leave the grounds of the Tucson Arena and the Tucson Convention Center as outlaid by the city of Tucson, Arizona.
The first person to do that will be the World Heavyweight Champion, and will face the Great D in 1 week's time at Black Friday in a much fuller Key Arena in Seattle.
Exactly. There'll be a whole lot of fans there. Here, the arena is already sold out for Black Friday.
If that crowd is as heavily excited as it was for the Slammy Awards, it's going to be quite the night.
We'll blow the roof off the place. And now Gregory Black.
They're throwing hands right now.
And down goes Gregory Black. And both of these men, their bodies have to be just racked with pain. Oh, throws them into that camera. That's a $50,000 HD camera.
It should be pointed out, Brian, that both of these men have signed whole arms. Is Black is leaving? I think Black's gonna try to make his way out.
I think he is.
Oh, or not. I saw Black. I think he saw Matos get to his feet. Might have cost him there.
Exactly, but as you were saying,
I think now Matos is he headed out or?
No, I think he's waiting. I think he wants to embarrass Gregory Black.
He's waiting for Black to get up, but he is not getting up, so I guess he's going to do it for him.
It puts him right down into the concrete.
DDT on the concrete.
Exactly. I think Matos is going to leave.
Or not.
No.
It's got to be absolutely sure he's out before making his way out. Oh, good lord! Again.
Ooh. Snap DDT. Did that one Jake Roberts style.